Okay, so updates on the Apocalypse Trooper project. The last stuff I showed was a lot of the interior. The exterior, I've kind of done some roof rack basket stuff on here, getting that set up. The winch has been put together here. Trying to figure out how to add this power film solar temporarily so that when it's in kind of a darker type area with a lot of tree cover where it gets stored, you know, we have these issues with fungus and moss growing, and that it's also not enough sunlight to keep some of the ongoing electronics on all the time. Like actually this little indicator light can drain the battery over time. So we did the diamond plate interior panels here. Diamond plate interior, again, easier to wash, isn't going to grow the mold and fungus and stuff that will grow on softer surfaces. We've got the tactical running boards on both sides. Now, I originally built those just on the passenger side because I thought, well, I'm only going to have people jumping on and off on the passenger side, but it didn't look right, so I put it on both sides. On the interior toolboxes, I had mold growing in the wood, and to me it wasn't that old, maybe 3 or 4 years. So I got this Kilz. Now this is normally a primer because the texture of it doesn't go on consistently enough to be called paint for house interiors. But you can get this stuff tinted, so if you're doing like tactical type vehicles and you don't want to go with specialized spray booth type stuff, this is pretty good for brush on. It's an all surface stuff, and it says, you know, use over wood, plaster, iron, and steel, and you can get tinted to the colors, right? So what I did was I pulled these things apart, painted them with it, and that's an anti-mold, anti-fungus type of a stain blocker type paint. I'm not trying to win a beauty contest with this, but in being functional, I don't want a nasty rust bucket, so it's not quite in the post-apocalyptic theme of the Mad Max stuff, because I don't want it to be unhealthy to be in here with mold and mildew. So again, we're going with washable, antifungal type surfaces on everything. The other thing is, for bug out toolkits, basically when I retire power tools, they go into a bug out type toolkit or a retreat location or something like that. One of the things that we got was, I'm too cheap to buy the Yakima racks for this, and I build my own stuff. But simply by getting one of these game dragger sports sled type things, a bucket sled I call it, you flip it upside down. If you have it on a basket type rack, well, that can cover stuff that's in bags. Okay, so that and it's still relatively aerodynamic when you flip it upside down because it's made to slide across snow. And I got this spider web net thing from Harbor Freight, but you got to replace those from time to time. It's a little stretchy. I had a lid come off a box down the road, and it would actually get between the squares of these things. So you got to watch out. Those get stretchy and a little goofy. Apart from that, not a whole lot. I decided to permanently leave a GPS in here. They're not crazy expensive, and just a good idea to have one in with it being constantly charged. That's one of the reasons I've got to have more power production. And this power film solar is probably going to just get set up across the seat or across the windshield, so it'll be ready to go. When I put these panels in, I didn't really have anything for door handles, so I just kind of did some rope paracord type stuff on that. It works, but I want to do something better. And then I have some old dump pouches that I'm going to figure out how to attach onto here. Maybe even some kind of a molly webbing adapter. I was thinking even bolting more of these on. So that's the ongoing stuff with the Apocalypse Trooper. For those who have been following the project, it seems to be surviving storage fairly well, but there's spare parts I want to keep around, like the fuel filters and air filters and maybe some extra fuel line and that sort of a thing. But when you're setting up these older vehicles, you pretty much have to replace all the wear parts in order to what they call zero time the vehicle. So in the last few years, it's gotten the alternator, the starters, power steering. We didn't replace it, but we redid a bunch of stuff on there. Now it's getting a fuel pump and some more stuff, distributor cap, rotor, all that. And you know, that's what it is. But it's still a relatively low cost thing. But it's added up. It really has. It was an $1,100 vehicle to begin with. I've definitely doubled, tripled, quadrupled that by the time I've gotten this far in the project. But I know I'm still well under $10,000. And I'll never get my money back out of it, so it's a matter of enjoyment and use with this kind of custom stuff. You know, because on a good day, I think this whole rig's worth maybe $2,800, $3,000 on a good day. It'd be hard to sell, you know, so you're not really doing these things for a profit. You're doing it because it's what you want. Anyway, 8-digit PDX signing out for now as I'm getting rained on, and we'll talk later.